Okay, the next couple of exercises we've got for you are going to work on our lateral core. We're going to integrate some other pieces of that as well. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is just setting up for a side plank position. Of course, making sure that no elbow or shoulder issue is going to prevent you from doing this position. Check it out and see how it feels, or perform an alternative. Okay, so with your elbow on the floor and the knee slightly bent, the first thing that we're going to notice is that our ear starts to crowd the shoulder here. We're going to push down onto the floor to create that nice distance between the ear and the shoulder. Okay, so this is always going to be the position that we perform our side planks from. I'm going to introduce my sandbag here. I'm going to get started with the first of 3 exercises, kind of almost 4, I guess, in our knee side plank and ultimate sandbag row. Okay, so I'm using the suitcase handle here on my 10-pound core bag. I'm going to start by driving my elbow into the floor, pulling my hips off the ground. I'm going to grab a hold of the handle, and I'm going to pull the sandbag up, wrap my elbow around my rib cage, and then place the sandbag back on the floor. So this one I'm going to perform for reps. My core has to withstand the load of me picking up the sandbag. And this is great because I don't have to be able to perform a full side plank in order to get extra benefit of adding this extra weight. You perform that for reps or for time. Second exercise is going to look very similar. Now we're going to add a leg movement. So a straight leg abduction. Don't be fooled by this one. It's quite a bit more difficult than the previous variation, especially because it involves a little bit of timing and coordination. We're going to start the same, driving the elbow into the floor, pulling the hips up off the ground. Now, as I lift the bag, just as I did in the previous exercise, I'm also going to be lifting my leg. Instead of coming straight up to the side, I'm going to kick my leg slightly behind me as I lift it up. So the timing looks like this. Just a little squeeze at the top to ensure I've got my elbow wrapped around my rib cage and as much height as I can get from raising my leg. Starts off feeling not too bad. Quickly toasts my hips, my glutes, and my core. That's a great one. All right, our next exercise now is to transition to a full side plank. I'm going to switch sides. Give the other side a little bit of love too. All right, and there's 2 different ways we're going to perform a side plank with an isometric row. So that means we're going to hold the row for an extended period of time. Okay, when I start my side plank, you'll notice that I have my feet split so that my top foot is in front and my bottom foot is in behind. I'm really going to try to get off of the surfaces of my ankles and onto the edges of my feet. Same principle for my elbow. I'm going to drive into the floor. I'm going to pull myself up into the side plank position. And for the tension row, I'm just going to pull on the handle, but not quite hard enough to lift the bag off the surface of the floor. And I can hold here for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, or longer if I'm a real champ. Okay, the benefit of doing this style of plank is that I can use any dimension of bag. So if I'm using a heavier sandbag, say a 30, 40, 50-pound sandbag in a complex with other major body movements, rows and squats and such, I can put this movement, program them alongside one another without needing more than one bag. Next, the next exercise version is similar. Same starting position, but now I'm going to wrap the bag around my rib cage and I'm going to hold here. You can, of course, perform this one for reps, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to hold it here. And as you can tell by the strain in my voice, I'm definitely working hard. I'm starting to sweat. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy trying that version in your own workouts. Let us know how it goes.